Hello everyone. So here is an example where we are going to find the regression curve for this data set. So this is the fourth example from my chapter 2.5 note. Let's say um, we are given a data set that shows the national expenditures for healthcare in the United States from 1960 to 2020. So in here we have the year, and then in the second column we have the expenditures. Now part A, we want to make a scatter plot using this data set. But when we plot this data set, my x variable is the number of years past 1950. So it means, so here if I write a variable x, then 1960 corresponds to 10. Then the x value for 1970 should be 20, because uh, so we have to subtract 1950 from 1970, and you will get 20, and so on. So this is 30, 40, and this is 45. Note that here we have 1995, so this x value should be 45, and 50, 55, 60, 65, and 70. So these are the x values that we need to enter into our calculator, and these are the y values that we are going to enter into the calculator. Okay, so let's focus on the implementation part. So first of all, we want to enter this data set. To do that, click on this stat button. So stat, go to one, edit. Okay, so now we have two columns, L1 and L2. Let's enter x values in the column L1 and y values in the column L2. So my first value should be 10, 20, and so on. Okay, so now we have entered our data set into the calculator. So in L1 we have basically the x values, and in L2 we have the y values. Okay, so first let's make a scatter plot from this data set. Okay, let's quit from this mode. So hit second and quit. Now we want to make a scatter plot. So press second and start plot. Okay, at this moment my plot one is off. So click on press 1 and select on and hit enter. Great. So now let's press second quit. Okay, now we can make the graph. So press on this graph button. Okay, now at the moment we cannot see the data points. It's because of this window. Now let's zoom the graph. So to do that, click on this zoom um, and press 9. We want this zoom stat. Okay, great. So we have the data points on the xy plane. Okay, so that's part A. So now we want to make a power model and a quadratic model for this data set. Okay, a power model has this equation: y equals to ax plus b, and a quadratic model has the equation y equals to ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, so first let's go and get the power regression curve. So let's quit from this mode, second quit. Now we are going to get the regression curve, the power regression curve. To get any regression curve, click on this stat and then calc. So go to the calc. Now we want, so here we have the regression curves. So if you press number 4, you will get the linear regression curve. 5 is the quadratic regression curve, cubic, quartic. And then if you go down, you will see the power regression curve. Okay, so let's select this. So hit enter. Now X list is L1, Y list is L2. We do not have to change anything. This is correct. Then go down, hit calculate. Excellent. So here you have the power regression curve. The value of A is equals to 0.0315 and this exponent B equals to 2.744. That's how I obtained these values for A and B. Now, if you want, you can enter this equation. To enter this equation into the calculator, what you need to do is quit from this mode. So second, quit. Now, to enter an equation, you need to press this y equals to. So let's press this y equals to. Okay, so here we are going to enter our power regression equation. Your calculator has already stored the equation. To get that regression equation, what you need to do is go to this VARS, press that one, and then it is under statistics, so press 5. Now let's go to this equation. So let's press this one more time. Okay, so number one says regression equation and we need this, so press 1. Okay. Great, so here is the power regression equation. Okay, now if you want, you can plot this power regression equation on the same graph. To get the graph, just press the graph button and you will get the power regression curve. Great. Okay, so now we want to get the regression quadratic regression curve. So let's quit from this mode. Second, quit. Okay, now let's get the quadratic regression curve. So let's press stat calc, select calc, and then number 5 is the quadratic regression curve. So press 5 or select 5, enter, calculate. Okay, so here are the coefficients of the A, B, and C. A equals to 1.76, B is negative 71.006, and the constant term equals to 679.16. Okay. So again, let's say we want to enter this equation into the calculator. So first quit from this mode, second quit, press y equals to. Now we want the second equation. The first one is the power regression equation. So now we are going to enter the quadratic regression curve or equation. Again, it is in our variables. So click was number 5. It is under statistics. Then go to right, select equation. Under equation, select the first one, regression equation. Okay, so now if you check this, you will see the quadratic regression curve. Now, if you want to plot this graph, press the graph button, you will see the quadratic regression curve. So this red one is the quadratic regression curve and the blue curve is the power regression curve. Okay, so that's how I obtained these two graphs. Okay, in which model from part B approximates more accurately the data points for 2020, and so 2020 is the last data point, and as you can see, our quadratic regression curve is closer to the data point when my year equals to 2020. So the best option is the quadratic regression curve. Okay, so now let's do the last part. So here we need to use a quadratic model to predict the 2025 expenditures for national health care. Now, in this case, when your year equals to 2025, the x value should be 75. So 2025 minus 1950. So basically, we want to evaluate our quadratic model at uh, when x equals to 75. So plug 75 for x, and you should get this number. Now we can do this. We can do this computation using the calculator because we have already implemented this equation. Um, Now to do that, so let's go to first. Let's check the equations. So let's go to y equals so second quad. Now let's see our equations. So our calculator has two equations, y1 and y2. In order to do this computation, we need only the y2 equation. So let's clear y1. So I'm going to clear this. So hit clear. Okay. So now let's second quit. Now my calculator has only one equation. It is this quadratic regression curve. Okay. To do this substitution, go to we need to use a calculation. So second calc. Now we need a value. So press 1. Okay. Now here we need to input the x value. So our x value is 75. Enter. Then so this will give you the y value that corresponds to x equals to 75, and it equals to 5256.86. Okay. So this is the way we use our calculator to get the regression curves, plot the regression curves, and even um, estimate our y value based on a given x value. Okay. Thank you.